All right, welcome back to We Out of Time, guys. Welcome to the new year. Happy 2023. Welcome back. This is our first showing of the year, so it's going to be a good one from here moving forward. So, again, my name is Juan. This is next to me.
Alex.
And our co-hosts.
Albert.
D exclusive, baby. DXWorldMedia.com.
Yeah, my man. Okay. I love it.
I love that.
All right, sweet. So, there's been some talk recently. I mean, there's a lot of talk I find particular with, not just like with men, I guess, coming forward talking about like men going their own way, a red pill. People like, have you guys heard of Just Pearly Things podcast? Andrew Tate, all this, there's all this talk about male and female dynamics, right? I think that's very popular right now. It's not at the forefront of a lot of conversations. And what I want to talk about today is a certain woman who is recently trying to get out of the corn industry. We'll put it that way.
Corn?
It's more YouTube friendly that way. So
Peter Piper.
yeah, exactly. When it comes to that, I had this one woman, Brie Olson, who recently trying to get out of the I guess that light, is finding some pushback when she's trying to jump into more like a mainstream industry, and I guess she's realizing the ramifications that come with previously being involved in that industry. You guys think this pushback is, I guess, expected, or is it justified, or should there be different opinions around this thing?
Like, who's she getting pushback from?
Just in general, when she goes out, she claims that when she's out and about, that people recognize her, and at some points she just feels like she has the word like written of like shame all over her.
I mean, I don't know if that's like something new to her. That's something that was to be expected. It's always been like that. So for her to barely figure this out, it's kind of funny. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. Like, at this point, she's here. Put more context to it. So at this point, I've found that she's done over 286 films in that industry, and has about a network of $5 million.
That's a lot of dick, man.
Stop being sick with it.
Any comments?
Dude, you would have to like watch a video a day, and you still would need like, you wouldn't be able to watch all that, dude. That's a lot of video watching. I can't watch that. I can only watch a clip, and that's it.
Dude, that's almost enough videos for like a video a day. That's crazy.
What's insane is the short amount of time that it takes someone that took her to be in this industry to make that many films.
How long was she?
Wait, yeah. How long has she been in it?
You know what? Here, I'm gonna bite my tongue right now and gonna figure that out for you. But it's only been a few years, because I know at least someone else had been only a few years, and they just push out a bunch of films, and it's pretty intense for some people.
I mean, films are being filmed all the time, so if she's able to lock in the gigs, think of it as a DJ. DJ can go every weekend. That's 52 films a year. So, and if she's been in longer than 5 years, that's over 250. I'm pretty good with math, by the way.
That was some quick math.
I like that evil laugh. But
All right, I got it here.
how many years?
So at least from 2006 to 2011.
Hey,
Yeah.
she's been around for a while.
Yeah. So that's like about 5 years that she has her run.
Ironically, it was 5. I didn't know it was 5. And but we're in 2023 now. So she's been dealing with this backlash or like shame or this celebrityness for like over 11 years.
Yeah. It's stigma.
What confuses me is that one, she didn't realize that that's what's going to happen. Maybe because I think maybe she didn't think of it going in, because I bet you like any girl goes in think, oh, it's going to be a one video, one movie, and then it just turns out to be 250 or 281 or later. If you were successful and make all that money, you know. But, you know, overall in a general macro aspect, yeah, like porn has taken off in the internet stage in the last 20 years, right?
Most definitely, yeah.
We're in a new era. I think we're coming up to a new one because we're having more of these porn stars. Like we have another porn star we're going to talk about today. And I think we were going in that era where it's going to be another generation of more of acceptability maybe I think we might go towards that route. I don't know, because we've gone through a lot of different gender and sexuality, you know, and all this LGBTQI movement in the last 30 years. Things have changed a lot in the last 10 for that group of people too.
Definitely,
So, I
A lot of
mean,
movement.
in the last 5 years, I've known there's been different like videos, articles, news articles about sex workers, and even in legal like places that they're trying to, you know, make it legal in some areas and stuff, like get almost unionize the sex workers. I've heard in the last 5 years. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but there's some traction out there. It's not mainstream. Like with you guys not really hearing about it, it's probably not mainstream or whatever, but I don't know. I just feel this moment of us talking about it allows another opportunity for someone to talk about it, to offer support and let people know that it shouldn't be that a stigma. I know these old traditions of our organizations of education and health, they're not going to like that. And that's what Bree mentioned in her video, that she really can't really even go be a nurse if she wanted to right now because of her porn industry history.
Well, I mean, now that I think about it, I can understand why so much of the world like puts that type of work to shame, because it's easy pickings, you know, like the people that get into the industry, it's a faster rise to fame. Not that everybody that enters it becomes famous or wealthy, but it's way easier than like these other like honorable professions, like being like a nurse or whatever, or becoming a doctor, or like just about any other profession. So it's kind of like unfair, I guess, to the rest of the world. You know what I mean? Because as a porn person, I guess in theory you could make more money per hour, I'm guessing, which is kind of like crazy, because I thought they made more money than they actually do, like your typical sex worker. I heard.
What are you referring to?
I heard like Mia Khalifa was only making, I think she made like 12 videos, and each video she made like $1,000 each.
That's what I heard.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's incredible.
Yeah. For me though, it's not so much about like it feels like a cheat. For me, it's about like morality, like the morality of what's being done, and if it should be not glorified, but like for me, I find pornography I don't think it's a good thing personally.
Yeah, you're right. It's just like one of the many things that kind of influences people in a bad way. Just like a bad habit or whatever, like doing drugs or
like I find that like me as a person also who has previously been addicted to porn, it's something that debilitates you. It keeps you like coming back. It keeps you addicted to it. And it's and that essence, you can't quite make the type of bonds you want to make with people in reality. It kind of it holds you back in some sense, I feel. And I had something really to say right now, but
I'm thinking, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, but by hearing that, I'm thinking that you've had a transition from finding more self-worth for yourself in the process of canceling out porn. But I want to point out that the porn itself wasn't the breakthrough. It was you breaking through the porn and like getting your own self-worth. Is that what happened in a nutshell? Like you weren't connecting with people, you were watching a lot of porn, and then all of a sudden you were realizing that you needed to cut out porn to connect with yourself, and then you connected with other people. Is that kind of like, in a nutshell, how it might have worked for you?
I think it could be kind of a cycle. I find that what it was really was in a sense of self-worth, yes, but it's kind of like something you keep to yourself, like, hey, I'm not hurting anyone doing this. I'm the only one quietly suffering here. Like when it came down to it, I was like, I want to be involved in a romantic relationship. At the moment, I can't.
Man,
wait, hold on. Real quick to finish my thought. I'm not trying to go into your history or past. I'm just trying to clarify for the audience that the porn addiction was based on like a result of something else that you were dealing with, and you removing porn allowed you to face it. Basically, is that kind of what happened?
No, it wasn't so much that.
I'm trying to figure out why you blame porn for not connecting with people.
How do I put it? Porn in some way it dehumanizes people. That's how I see it. They do such egregious things like to the women in these films that it gets you to fantasize that kind of thing, and it makes you
It drains you,
literally. No, but it makes you objectify women. So whenever I hear people say like, "Hey, it's empowering to women to like stick it to the man," or whatever it may be, it's like, no, you're quite. I find your women put themselves further underneath the thumb of man.
It's just backwards.
But it wasn't that I was not making relationships with people, so I had to I'll retract that. It was more that it was this intense, like, you know, adolescent, early adulthood desire to, you know, to want to engage sexually, but I didn't want to do it out of the confines of marriage. If that makes sense, because I have a Christian background.
And you know what's crazy? Like also like just the development of the internet, like it totally caught us off guard because we didn't know what the internet was. So it was just like a time of exploration, you know, where it was like there's no bounds, there's no limits, and then like just where before like sometimes I would find like a magazine or like some cover like just
Yeah.
on the street, and that was like when I was a kid. But then when we started to become like teenagers, like the internet was like developing, and like all these things were starting to pop up more and more.
Most definitely, yeah.
And it was just like
It just
there
took
was
over
no
quick.
bounds. You could do whatever you want on there, you know.
Yeah. And there's no risk of, you know, infections or whatever, you know. It's just, well, I'll say this. There is an infection of the mind. It's like it goes in your mind, it takes over, it wires your mind in such a fashion that you justify women and you justify even yourself. Like, hey, I'm a sex object in this moment. I think about nothing but that. And then that post-nut clarity kicks in, you're like,
Yeah, that's what I mean by it drains you. And I forget what I was gonna say.
yeah, go for it.
I mean, if that's how it's affecting a person that watches porn, how does it affect a person that does porn?
Oh, yeah.
Think about that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you feel like watching this is making you, like, you know, not able to connect with people, what about the person doing the
Oh,
porn?
I'm
you know
sure
what I mean?
they're probably all kinds of messed up, man. Like the actors, all the people in the industry, they're probably all kinds of messed up.
And that brings up an interesting point. How come we don't have, like, well, obviously they probably don't want to do this idea that just came to mind because it would take too much effort and time, and it would exclude some possible money-grabbing actors and actresses. But if we had a more structured way to evaluate and to find out their levels of maturity and accessibility or self-worth as an actor and actress, almost like we have to go through these processes of being a nurse or a counselor or whatever. You have to grow as a person before you could start helping other people, right? You could apply some of those things to help a person grow and make a living off of it real quick, you know, for their short time. But like more of an interview process. Their only interview process is if they look good naked, you know, like couch casting. Like, so, yeah, so it's not really like, oh, how are you? What do you think about your body? You know, they don't hit them with those hard questions in the interview process, I don't think, because it would be like a deterrent, you know?
I would think so, yeah. Because then you're asking them about who they are rather than what kind of services they can provide and what's the glamour of being part of this industry, at least some money, you know?
But if you brought more of a moral, or at least like, I mean, it's not going to reach everyone's moral level, but it would at least kind of like improve the industry and help actors and actresses really figure out if this is right for them. You know, instead of them just jumping in, having them sign a contract, locking them in, and then make them do like 12 films. You know.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Truthfully, I don't think it's right for anybody.
No, I know. That's why I already know I want to meet everyone, but I'm in the middle ground where I'm like, I don't agree with that statement. I think it's everyone's choice to like whatever they want. Like cigarettes are bad for you, but I mean, we're not going to stop smoking.
Yeah. No, I get it. But I mean, when it comes
but
to
we don't
like,
talk about cigarettes as a moral issue.
I mean, in some ways it is, yeah.
I mean, no, man, majority, like
Yeah.
mainstream, whatever.
The hard part is this. In the U.S., at least, where we're in, there's different ideas of morality. So you can't quite say, oh, that's immoral right there, because someone else might find it justifiable, just find it more, or rather moral for them.
Or acceptable for them.
Precisely, yeah. Like, and I want to go back actually to what you were talking about earlier, Alex, when you came to talk about someone who's in the industry, how they're affected. Have you guys heard of pair bonding?
What?
Pair bonding?
Is it with
Like
a
pair,
baby?
like two people? No, like I'd say like between like a couple.
what is the process like? What are you talking about?
Let's say like you get to know someone, and then you kind of start bonding with them. You kind of feel linked to them.
I still don't know what you're talking about. Are you sitting in
Like a
front of holding them
relationship.
by their hand? Or?
Like not like
like he just
an
asked-
emotional relationship.
Yeah, he's gonna explain to you what pair bonding is. That he just wanted to know if you know what. Have you heard of it?
No.
Together. Because I've heard these stories of this was like maybe a few years back that I heard this back in 2020 or before. There's one woman who's involved like in the prostitution industry, and she slept with so many men that when she started trying to date again, she just felt emotionless, like she couldn't like connect with anybody, because she has seen so many men, whether they were like husbands or lawyers or attached to someone else in some fashion, that she felt like she was just numb to everything.
Of course, man. I think like every time, like when you get like too much stimulus from something, you know, you're gonna become like more
Callous?
yeah, more callous, more. You just don't get any more like pleasure from it, you know. So it's normal for that to happen.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say, I think it's more sad that we get more stories and more viewership of like porn stars coming out with their either their regret story, or they're like coming out and defending porn, and everybody pays more attention to that more than stories of guys who have been through the porn addiction. Like, we don't talk about that much. Here and there, sometimes you hear it, but what comes out to the surface way more than that are the porn stars who reveal their story. I find that really sad. Or like, why don't we pay more attention to I mean, yeah, I empathize with the porn actresses. Like, they're human also, but we should also empathize with also the victims, which are the people who are addicted. Yeah.
Customers.
Yeah.
That's a tough sell, man.
And also, I guess this is just an idea. Like, how come they don't put any restriction on porn? Like,
Also,
the only restriction is you must be 18 and over. I guess it's the same thing for cigarettes, right?
Cigarettes went up to 21.
yeah, doing 21. At least in California, right? Or is it federal?
I don't know.
In California, for sure, yeah, 21. We'll find out.
So we should raise the age restrictions to
But
21.
you know,
or
like
what?
how in cigarettes, like they started making companies put like labels and pictures, images of like,
Yeah.
this is harmful for you. How come they don't do that? They should mandate for people to do that with porn. They should, like, the government should do research on the effects of porn, and then try to see if it's something that should be dealt with in the same way as cigarettes or not.
Well, I mean, cigarettes are bad for you, but it's still like, it's a business, right? So porn,
Money making machine, baby.
you know what I mean? Like,
Money-making machine.
if porn's good for you or not, it's a business, so it's gonna keep, rolling.
How do they make money, by the way? How does porn make money? Because their videos are free.
I'm assuming advertisements, like YouTube.
Yeah.
Like YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's a tougher business, which is kind of crazy, because I also kind of feel bad for the porn companies, because it's a tough business, dude, because they can't get just any sponsor. Like, there's only certain sponsors that they can get.
But there's a lot of products being made from all these different companies that they could throw in there, and virtual products too. Like virtual games that are ads, 5-second, 15-second ads in front of the videos.
What kind of games?
I don't know. I've never played them because they're not interesting to me. But they're just like, oh, if you want to come, Combinator web, whatever. And then there's like it's like a video game where you're supposedly gonna come in 60 seconds. And then there's also ads for like other places where you could chat It's like Chaberator or Chibberator. Yeah, so
Collaborator.
Yeah.
Chat roulette.
so it's a way to get those companies more business because maybe they don't tired of watching the free video and they're like, I'll spend $9 or $8 signing up for that. I mean, that brings up another thing. OnlyFans is a brand new website in the last 5-10 years.
What do you guys think about OnlyFans? Like, yeah, what do you think of OnlyFans?
Man, here's what we'll say. It can be very exploitative of like teenage boys. I've heard stories.
It just exploits everything, bro. It exploits the workers. It exploits, well, they make, I don't know. It's just like everything, I guess. Like I guess if you do put morality aside, it's just like anything else. Like, there's some people that rise to the top, and then there's a whole bunch of people at the bottom as far as the workers. It's a product, I guess.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Side hustle.
Side
Yeah.
hustle. When are we making their OnlyFans? Let's go.
We could all dance in our underwear.
No, but when it comes to OnlyFans, I do find that at least I've heard stories of some producers that they go, not producers, but like some actors or whatever you want to call them, that they go to say like, what's that one, not Twitter, it's the gaming website. Not Discord.
Twitch.
Gaming. Twitch TV, right? They go on Twitch. And they're on there like in a bathtub and like, oh yeah,
Whirlpool jacuzzi.
And like, oh yeah, but at the bottom, check out my
Send me some money.
my whatever thing, and takes you the link to my OnlyFans.
What?
Yeah, they've been doing that for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Wait, but who does that? Like
Like a bunch of girls in bikinis are in their their world jacuzzis. Some of them are playing video games,
Some are doing yoga,
and some of them
kinda
are just chilling, playing yoga. You doing yoga in the bathtub, in the jacuzzi?
No, it's like
Oh, just
the
that's
backyard
part of
thing.
their setting. Okay, yeah.
It's like they're here doing that, now they're doing that, now they're
But
doing
then they
that.
list the OnlyFans to make more money because they only get advertisement from Twitch, like YouTube. I mean, all the streams of income. If you know the business, you know how to get all the streams, the ads, the OnlyFans subscription. You could even do the Isn't there another one that's not OnlyFans, or is OnlyFans the only one you could subscribe to?
I have no clue.
I think you're thinking of a Fansly. So I heard.
Fansly.
Fansly, yes.
Wow, that's another one.
I mean, it's what I heard.
So that one's like OnlyFans.
That's all I'm told.
Well, I know a foot model that does OnlyFans and
Foot model?
Foot model, yeah. So she just shows her feet. For foot fetish people.
But is she like is she a real foot model and she does that?
No. She just does it like an amateur foot model, like by herself, with socks
So she's not
and
a real foot model.
videos, like short videos, and then men like offer like $300, $50 for different video content.
Well, I mean,
But it's only feet, like either someone rubbing her feet or getting her feet just moving around and stuff. Or yeah, I've never understood that either. It's not my
And
fetish.
that's for OnlyFans?
What happened?
Is that for OnlyFans?
Yeah, she's on OnlyFans,
Yeah,
and she
well,
might have a Fansly too. I don't know.
Even if it's just for feet, bro, she's gonna be the stigma of being an OnlyFans model is gonna.
Once
stick
you're OnlyFans, you are stuck OnlyFans. I agree. Because did you hear guys about the Arizona teacher? I mean, she actually did sexual acts with her husband on OnlyFans, but then she got fired from her job from the Arizona Unified School District, and then her husband was a substitute teacher, and he got fired like a week later.
Oh wow.
they got that morality clause. That's why.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do some crazy shit
Yeah.
on your own time.
Yeah.
Now, she was trying to defend herself that she blocked it from Arizona, but obviously, internet's internet. You're going to get through anything. You could find it eventually.
I mean, haven't you ever heard of VPN? You could change where you're from, bro. It don't fucking matter.
Again, Surfshark, please sponsor us. Surfshark and all our VPNs.
you could be in Japan if you want to be in Japan.
I'm in Japan right now, man. Speaking of Japan, we'll go back to it. No, but here,
We'll talk about that later.
Here, along with Brie Olsen, a few years back, I remember Mia Khalifa. She was speaking out also. So if you know who she is, she's a Lebanese, a woman who was previously in the corn industry. I'll say it that way again. Yeah, and I guess when she rose to fame, her family found out and disowned her, and she even got threatened by ISIS because she wore the hijab during a film, and that was like just over the edge. Now she's more, how would I put it? She doesn't find that corn is bad, but that there should be rules in which a woman or man or a person chooses to seek out being in that industry.
Instead of being sought out.
Exactly.
So not finding them on the street, the producers need to actually put a listing instead of just trying to go up to random chicks on the street. Yeah. And then also she mentioned that we should maybe consider having lawyers review the contracts to not get caught up in a weird contract where you only get $1,000, no extra money if it blows up, if it becomes a successful film, because that's what happened in her life. She said she only made like 12 films and she don't get any extra residual income because it wasn't in the contract.
Yeah, man, dude. They should have lawyers look over the contracts, of course, and you should only want to be in the porn industry, not, like
persuaded.
Put flyers up, you know what I'm saying? Like put an ad up, like, hey, we're looking for someone to do, a threesome, a foursome, a one-some, who
Bukkake?
knows?
Sorry.
But don't just look for people who obviously are desperate for money, because that's the only reason most people get into the porn industry is because they want,
quick cash.
Fast money comes with slow problems.
I heard that before. Yeah, fast money, slow problems.
Who said that?
Who said it, man? You tell me.
Yeah, your boy Fresh and Fit said fast money comes with slow problems. I guess it's true, man. Like, these girls are still going through it after all these years.
That's right, because I didn't realize Brie Olson stopped working like 11 years ago.
Yeah.
But what she's been doing, that's what confuses me. Like, I would be curious about what she's been doing. How has she been dealing with the mental health of it? Because there is a mental health component. Because there is trauma, like just being with anyone, not connecting. I agree with what you were saying earlier. But I think there is a way to do it with your own mindset. Yeah. But then the viewer part, what you guys were talking about earlier, they also need to figure out, why are you even watching porn? Like, is it just for an idea? Like, maybe you're just watching, like, looking at the topics and you want to try something with your wife or partner, and then you try something different, and it's not necessarily to be glued on the TV, or to do that or whatever. I don't know.
You know what's interesting? I just found like kind of a correlation between like Mia Khalifa and Brie Olson. What is it? Is the fact that like they both had a short run in the porn industry. But they're like high-ranking girls, you know what I mean? Like they're very famous. Yeah. They're known. Yeah, they're known. So it makes you think, like, what would have happened if they weren't famous? Like, would they have had longer careers? It seems like. It seems like maybe like it's like, okay, they got in. Maybe they weren't like rich or came from a wealthy family. Then they made it. They rose to that level of fame. They made a lot of money. Now they're out of it. And now they're like trying to erase that past, or I don't know. Brie Olson trying to do that?
She not so much erase it, but she wants people to accept that, hey, there should be respect for what she calls sex workers.
So she's more of an advocate.
She tells girls to not get into it, but she does not view porn as inherently bad.
Kind of like how I was saying it. Like, it's not bad, but it needs to be a thoughtful decision. For viewer and performer.
So you know what's crazy? I don't think that like you said, Brie Olson and Mia Khalifa, because I feel like Mia Khalifa kind of regrets it. Yeah. And like there's other girls that kind of regret it, but I don't think they regret the corn itself. I think they regret the
consequences.
The consequences.
I think it's the consequences.
But that is really striking to me that they don't really regret the actual corn, like the whole process of it. They don't regret that. They regret the stigma that comes with it. They regret the decision that led them to become like ostracized from the family, like Mia Khalifa.
Yeah, so
this is really weird. So I guess like if you like listen to any of these other girls, like pay attention. Like, do they actually regret it? I guess to contradict my own point, I've heard Lana Rhoades say. Lana Rhoades, you don't know who she is?
She's another porn star. I call her Lana though, not Lana.
Lana.
You know Archer.
You know who that is?
From Archer. Lana from Archer. That's it.
That's that real quick. I thought you said Orlando.
Orlando?
Yeah, I'm like Orlando Bloom.
But do you know who that is? Yeah. We'll have a picture somewhere. Yeah. So she said like I think she also didn't like doing corn, and it's kind of the same thing. Like she wasn't in it for that long, but she did it. She got famous. She got a
Yeah.
It is what it is.
But man, okay.
That seems to be the way. Like,
You know, some people do it more. I guess you call it respectable or more incognito, more on the down low. But this is more in Japan that they're doing it now. But they don't call it, sex work. They call them therapists. You've heard about it, right? You've heard about it, right?
Yeah, I saw the video on male sex therapists. Or no, they're called therapists.
Just therapists.
They don't put the word sex in front of it.
No, just male therapists.
But it's basically like a male escort.
don't sound it.
But they call them therapists, and it's through Twitter. It was crazy. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
They don't advertise on these black areas of the web or whatever.
They go on
They just
Twitter,
go on Twitter.
man.
They put up their little profile. Hey, $100 an hour to talk to me, and I'll take care of your therapeutic needs.
Yeah. And I got it here. That's called a Josei Yu Fuzoku, something like that.
Wow.
I can't say.
Not
I looked it up,
bad,
man.
Juan. Not
I looked it
bad.
up. I was like, okay. That's a term for basically saying a woman seeking out those kind of male services. That's a term for it apparently. And yeah, it's definitely interesting because you would figure that it would be the opposite. You find males seeking out that kind of experience as opposed to women seeking out that experience.
Is this something like prevalent, like very common, or is it something that's kind of niche, like just like a certain circle of women, like maybe like certain
From what I
certain
recall,
age group, certain social status group of women
Yeah.
that are getting the services?
from what I recall, it's much smaller than the male industry, but it's on the rise right now as cultural acceptance is changing in Japan, whereas before female sexuality was kind of like shameful.
Yeah.
Now it's becoming more culturally acceptable to
Explore.
explore your sexual desires in Japan.
And then so like when the video was saying that most women that would seek a therapist out is to maybe get a professional sex therapist, one that knows how to have sex, learn from him, and then go back to her boyfriend. Maybe like figure out how to do it. And then also they want more of a boyfriend experience.
Yeah,
So
that's
they're not really
interesting.
having penetration or sex.
Actually, because that's illegal.
Oh, and that's the other
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can do anything up until no penetration.
But the weird thing I couldn't figure out, help me figure out, one, is that penetration with fingers was okay, but not anything else.
Not any sexual organs. That's as I
Organ
understand.
or toys?
I don't know
Like,
about that.
It wasn't
wasn't
clarifying
too
that.
clarified in that front. I'm sure someone can get
Now
away
I want
with
to be a
that. I don't
Japanese
know.
lawyer and figure this out because I want to know if America even has that law. Like if it's or do we even know what the sex workers' laws here are? Like if you go to a strip
I
club, can you
personally
touch
don't know.
anything but just not have sex and then you can get away with it and not be put in jail or what?
I have no clue, but I would assume that prostitution is illegal.
What form of prostitution though? All forms?
I
Or are you
don't
talking
know.
about touching boobies?
I don't know.
We should look into that. Comment below. Let us know what the law is, man. Send us a link to the California state law.
He didn't write the law, man.
Write it
I didn't
down.
write it, man.
Right, guys. If you know in the comments, write it down. What are prostitution
Let us
laws
know, guys.
in Japan?
I'm too ignorant.
No, in
Or
California.
In
in
California.
California, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's like baffling though. Like how's Japan like a freaking I mean, I thought Japan was like a country based on like honor. And now you got women, so we're here freaking hiring male therapists. Like how does that work?
From what I understand, these are actual standards. They wouldn't go out and just seek out any man. They seek out for a certain experience from a professional.
A certain experience. I like how that is. Like, I'm gonna take that one.
They look them up on
actually do.
Twitter.
They look at the picture
Look up on
of Twitter.
Twitter.
They put their picture on Twitter, and the girls pick which one they want. Yeah. So like, if I had a company
She's
or
like,
Japan, I had all of us on there, right? And they would just like look through our little profiles on our Twitter account, and then let me know which one. I would let you guys know. Have a woman that needs your therapeutic skills. I'll send you over there. You'll have her shower, and then you'll either give her a massage, have a boyfriend experience, or whatever you want to, whatever she wants. You know, it's an hour or two. Just no penetration, okay? Please, no penetration.
So Dennis, you would be the pimp and you send us out as hoes or what?
I would send you out as
He be Charlie and we be his angels.
hey, I'll take care of you guys. We'll get it through. This is not going to be one where I keep all the money. We're all going to be wealthy.
Hey man, just don't Andrew Tate us, all right?
Yeah, I won't do anything too crazy like that.
Shoot, man.
All right. Do you guys think that this new therapist thing, whatever, do you think it's gonna exit out of Japan? Like, do you think it's only gonna be in Japan? Like, it's gonna just stay, or do you think like it's gonna start happening in other places more often? Like, will it get popular in other countries? Is what I'm trying to say.
I think this is kind of a niche thing because in other countries it's more blatant. Like, hey, we're gonna do more than just be a therapist, and everybody knows it.
I wonder if it's kind of like in California, we have a thing where there's like a certain group of women's, where it's like at a certain age, you can go to like a cougar bar. A cougar bar is just like a regular bar where you can go drink, but there's cougars. Like cougars, you know what a cougar is, right? You know what a cougar is?
Older woman. Older woman looking for like a 19 to 25-year-old man.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that might be like our equivalent. You know, like we have like cougar bars. They have like they pay for a male
Look
therapist.
them up online, out of their own, volition. Be like, ooh, I like that one.
Ooh, I like that.
What I like about the therapy idea is that it actually involves with a change, like in helping the woman explore her sexuality and almost provide her with a sexual therapy experience. It's not just about like physically pleasing her, and then, I mean, I hope they're using more of a technique of therapy, and then they're not just using the word as a coin, because that's what I would do. If we were doing our method, I would have to have all you guys go through a therapy session with me to figure out how we're going to help these women become sexually aware of themselves through either massage we'll have to define all our techniques we'll use, we'll be all the same. And we'll be able to do it right. And then so if they are with any one of us, we'll be a little cookie cutter, but we'll have different, we all
specialties.
Yeah.
Here.
I mean, some of us might have a niche specialty that we prefer doing. Like maybe one of us likes to chew on feet, and that's what they want.
They're freaking foot munching. Like, no. Here, I'll say this, man. We just can't. This sounds so reminiscent of like Deuce Bigelow. You ever seen that movie? He's like not having sex with them. You just take him out like for have a good time.
Yeah, see, that works though. But women really want to have that experience though.
That boyfriend experience.
Yeah, but
Wait.
there has to be like even in dating, I think we need to even have like a dating like course online for everyone to figure out how to date. Like, how do we date?
Right.
Like no one talks about how to date
Why
anymore.
don't we start a dating course?
Yeah, we should do a dating course, and it'll be on our OnlyFans because you have to pay for that.
But we had a time
I love
university.
that, bro. I love that. We'll be like the mediator, because like I guess like men and female, they don't know how to communicate. Like,
Oh, okay. See, that's what therapists do, right?
Oh,
Marriage counseling, but dating counseling. So we'll come with blind dates and we'll
Yeah.
counsel them.
huh?
Or people, boyfriend and girlfriends that are already together, and they're like, "Man, I don't know how to talk to my boyfriend. I want to break, or girlfriend, I want to break up with her." And then they hire us to help them figure it out before they break up. It's like we're the breakup therapists as well. We're gonna help you break up or stay together. Like there's a whole bunch of little angles that you could go at it. It'd be kind of fun though, actually.
I like how you think.
See, that sounds more wholesome. I'm not sure about this,
Therapy.
cunnilingus and all this freaking touching though.
Oh, you don't want to touch the ladies?
Nah, man. I touch one woman.
Oh.
Wow.
My man is anyway. So what do you think? What's driving these women to take this path? Like,
Well, here,
why
There's,
are things changing?
there's one case that I've heard, at least through the video we were checking out, right? There's these married women with sexless like lives. So they seek out someone else.
Yeah, so
to
an
fill
older
that void,
couple-
literally.
An older couple aren't having sex anymore, and she wants to have a sexual experience, maybe boyfriend experience, because her husband is no longer providing anything.
Yeah. I've heard stories that apparently the man's not interested in sex anymore. He has ED, erectile dysfunction.
I was about to ask.
What is that?
I figure I would just say it, right?
But that's where I would bring the therapy, and I would want to remind her that she is enough as a wife, and whatever they've decided in their marriage, they need to start trying to figure it out. Now, if one partner is not willing to figure it out, that's where we find divorce or people that find themselves in like a relationship, like a marriage after 35 years and not touching each other. Like if touch is gone, can you imagine not touching your wife in 35 years because you and her don't like each other anymore? I mean, how do you prevent that? One, we need to figure that out, I guess, because no one's talking about it.
Why are they still married? Do they not have enough like divorce lawyers?
I've
or
met
what?
some. I met already two like older couples.
Asian?
Not Asian. This is actually American, like Hispanic. Wow. Like they don't touch each other, and then she's okay with him going outside the marriage, but they're still together.
They're not Hispanic, bro.
Yes, she's Hispanic, man. I swear. Yeah. I was shocked because she's been with him for 35 years. They're in their like late 50s. And they're like,
You never heard of that Latin fire, my boy?
land fire?
Latin fire? You know, they're like they're supposed to be more spicy.
Oh. Yeah, well, maybe he's white. I don't know. I haven't met him. He cooled it out. Cooled the fire down. But like appreciation, more of like if you haven't touched a man, like if you're into men, like as a woman, and you haven't been touched or held by a boyfriend or husband, that messes with your mental health.
I bet it would, yeah.
Like if my wife and I didn't touch for like even 6 hours, I'd be freaking out. Yeah. And well, I could do it during work.
For 6 hours?
No. I guess
At
6
work?
hours?
Yeah, duh.
Okay, hold on. Within a 24-hour period, if I don't hug my wife, I might go ape shit.
Yeah, if you're in that same space with her, like, you gotta touch your wife. Like, touch or do something.
Well, that does
Give
make...
her a kiss, give her a hug, something. It's like, what comes out of you.
We should do it. We should do a challenge for Dennis. So don't touch your wife for 6 hours challenge. You're gonna freaking be seen. He's gonna be like spazzing out. Like, I gotta touch my wife.
He's gonna have her touch him. Like, the rules were I can't touch you, but you can touch me.
Oh, that's like the strippers. The strippers are allowed to touch us, but we can't touch them. Isn't that with like massage therapists too? They could touch us, but we can't touch them.
Hey, doesn't that sound like some like kindergarten or like some like schoolboy type thing? Like, okay, like you go to a strip club and it's like the rule is like you can't touch her. She could only touch you.
It sounds elementary.
Yeah, it sounds elementary. Like you're not allowed to touch her.
Anyway, man, what do you guys think about this kind of stuff? Last thoughts. Let's close this thing out.
I find it weird. I find it weird as far as like it just doesn't seem to be very Japanese, but
Because people would know.
now I'm trying to find out what's wrong with Japanese male. Like, I don't think there's really guys. Really, I don't really know Japanese culture, but it seems weird to hear that there's like males that don't touch their wife for like years on end, to the point where they have to pay for a guy. That just seems so bizarre.
Yeah, for me, it's I don't sound like a freaking broken record, but for me, it's the same thing. Like, hey, this is a moral issue, and I'm kind of on the other side. But yeah, it's definitely fascinating that this kind of niche, I guess, service is even in existence. And I think it's because it's more like you said, it's more, what's the word for it? I'd say traditional culture out there in Japan, and it's not as sexually
Like conservative, no?
yeah, more sexually conservative, because I know there's a lot less speech. Like even like in the train, people are very quiet into themselves. I think that may be attributing to why some
Have you
men
ever been to Japan?
never have. I just know part of the culture.
We should go sometime.
We should, yeah. Be
It's
great.
all like casual. We should go.
Yeah.
We
We should go, man.
sometime, Dennis.
Go Nihon.
I don't know.
Japan? You don't like Japan?
I'd rather bring Japan here.
You know, I have heard this on a tangent that it can be very difficult as a foreigner being in Japan, just because there's a lot of
'Cause you don't
I'll be
speak
too
the
loud.
language.
for that for one. But I've heard there's a lot of like I wouldn't call it racism, but prejudice against other cultures that are not like Japanese.
Yeah.
I've heard that, so I'm kind of like, oh, maybe
I mean,
kind of strange.
yeah, whatever.
So they only like their kind?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, my final thoughts on this Japanese women needing male therapists is, it'd be nice if it happened outside of Japan, but you know what? It's all good. Like if it's just a Japan thing, let's go to Japan then. Fuck it. No, I mean, if I'll talk to them, shit. They gonna pay me, I'll talk to them.
$200 an hour, right? $200 an hour?
I'm gonna charge $99 an hour, bro, because
Discount therapy from Alex.
On sale.
We got the 99 special, we got the 195 special, and then the $250 special. Which one you like? All right, you like that face? All right, go with that one then. But yeah,
Charlie,
I
something
find.
else?
Oh yeah, I was doing a real quick thought. I really like the idea of this, inspiring people to really check their self-worth and their relationships. Like what I was saying earlier, like we shouldn't let our relationships die when we could easily just create systems of success, of habits that will keep it fueled, the fire burning.
All right. Well, hey guys, close it out. I'm kind of hungry. Gotta get home. We out of time, guys. So then again, as always, as always, subscribe.
We out of time.
Subscribe, like, comment, follow. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about. Let us know what you think about what we said. Are any of us wrong? Any of us right? Is it somewhere in the middle? Is it just gray? Follow us on Twitter, on TikTok. Where else are we at? Instagram? All right.
We'll have the links down below.
Hit us up on the OnlyFans very soon. Anyway,
JK about that one.
anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you next one.
All right. Tune in.